the Big Rig Kids, y'all. Are you ready? Let's go. Here come the Big Rig Kids, roll with the Big Rig Kids. Let's fire the truck, take you to such amazing places with the Big Rig Kids. Those helpful Big Rig Kids, see how they give and grow and get to know amazing things. Learn with the Big Rig Kids, and you'll see how it is to have adventure days and hang and play with all your friends. Because the Big Rig Kids know what it is to live a most exciting and inviting life is positive.
Welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Grandma Polly. This is our new season. We're here doing these wonderful things for the community and building one another up and sharing stories that encourage and inspire people. And who inspires more people than anybody? Children, adolescents, teens, because they're becoming adults and they still have that they haven't been conditioned totally by society yet. So they're still free in their thinking to accomplish and do the wills and the things that they would do. But before we get into that anymore, because we have a very exciting and special guest for you, I want to introduce the one you all know and love. Y'all know who she is. Y'all come on now, give it up for Grandma Polly. Come on. Can you hear me?
I can now. You had me on mute.
All right. Sorry about that.
Hey. Good evening. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Conversations with Grandma Polly. We apologize for the late start. We've been having a little technical function thing going on there. But at this moment, we are here. And we're glad to have you. I want to thank everyone for joining us. And we have an exciting conversation that we're going to have this evening as Madisen Brown was my granddaughter, and she has been a part of my Big Rig Kid organization from the beginning. And Madisen knows how important that village is. And without further ado, I would like you all to help me welcome Madisen Brown. Please give us some hearts. Show this young lady some love because she's an extraordinary young lady. Hi, Madisen, and welcome.
Hi.
Hello, Madisen. How are you?
I've been good. Still in
Can you hear
quarantine
me?
right now. Yes.
Yeah, this quarantine thing, I'm glad that you brought that up because this COVID thing, I think, has really put a havoc on all of us in one way or another. And I brought you in this evening because, we're going to talk a little bit about that, but we also want to talk about some things that you've done with the Big Rig Kids, and now that you have teamed out, that's how I'm going to put it. You're that big girl now who has gone on to high school. And I understand. I understand where you came from and where you are now. Starting out, you were in a single parent home and you never really stood in need of anything because you always had this village around you. And just having that village around you, can you tell us how and why the village is important?
My village is important because they support me no matter what, and I know that if I'm going through something, they will be there for me. And it's very important to have somebody by your side, and they can, like, village is family, and family is people that love and would do anything for you.
Okay, but is the village limited to family? Is it only family that's a part of the village, or or could family friends be a part of the village?
Family friends can be a part of the village. also.
Yeah, could you elaborate on that a little bit and explaining how that works?
Um, family friends
When we talk
are
about the family friends being a part of the village,
family friends being a part of the village.
yes. In other words, like you and I have always talked about, we know that we have blood family. We're related to people by blood, the bloodline that we've been born into. But when we talk about family friends being a part of the village, we can't choose our family, but don't we choose our friends?
Yes,
And elaborate
friends.
on a little bit because we have friends who become family.
Friendly friends are friends that have like been by your side. What family friends are.
Yes, family friends. I have friends, even though I've lost a couple of them. I have friends that I have met over 30 years ago. And not only are they just friends, they became like a sister, and a couple of them are guys who have became like a brother to me. And there's no relation by blood, but we made the decisions to be friends, and we made the decision to be family. And that's what I feel like, and this is what I understand the village as being. When the friends, the families, I mean, anybody come together when you're going through hard time and good times, but you're there to celebrate each other when the times are great, and you're there to help each other when times are tough. And it's been almost 2 years since we've been dealing with this pandemic. And I feel like the village that we have around us, has played a big part in helping us get through and dealing with all the things going on. And what I want to know from you is, how are you coping through this? Because there are times I have a rough time where there may be a day where I feel myself going into like a depression, and I have to talk myself out of it. But with you being as young as you are and having to be out of school for a period of time, or having to do school from home over the computer, how are you coping with this?
It's new to me because I wasn't used to doing work online. I'm used to pencil and paper, being in the classroom with the teacher. So like if I need help, I can just ask them instead of emailing them or doing it through like a Google Meet. And since I've been in quarantine for 2 weeks. COVID stuff like wearing a mask to school because like a everyday thing now that we do. So
Okay, so it appears to me that you're dealing with it pretty well. You're making the adjustments. And before we go into this next question, I have to share a funny story about you, right? I don't know if you remember or not, and if you don't, ask your mom about it later. I remember when you first started school, there were two things that you did as a small child. And at this time, I was driving trucks at the time too. And I remember your mom would call me on the road, and she was like, "Mama, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this girl." There was this one time the teacher sent a note home and said that you was looking at someone else's paper. So your mom wanted to know why you did that, and the only explanation you could give, and you gave it in such a funny way, it was that you needed help. You wanted to see the other person paper because you needed help. You didn't feel like you could do it. And she was so frustrated. It was funny. And then it was something else that you did. Y'all excuse me because I do have a slight cold. Um, there was some work that the teacher gave you, and you got a few right here, a few wrong there, a few right here, and a few wrong there. And your mom was trying to argue with, not really argue with you, but trying to find out what the problem was and what's going on here and how can I help. In the middle of it, you stopped and said, "Look, Ma, it's a pattern. 3 blue checks, 2 red marks, 3 blue checks." It was like it's a pattern. And you admit that you struggled with math, and there was a time you struggled with reading comprehension. And today I am so proud to know and hear that you have made a complete turnaround. You're that AB student now. And I want to know, is it difficult to manage and maintain your grades during these stressful times of COVID? Because I'm sure it gets stressful for you at times.
It's not easy, but it it's kind of difficult, especially when you're in like after school clubs, or I do track, so it's like you have to say like find a time to do your homework or study. So it's not really an easy thing to like it's not really easy to keep your grades high, but you just have to stay focused and find things that doesn't distract you from what you're doing.
That's awesome, Madison. Excuse me. And I also understand you do not only do you do track, but there are other activities that you're involved in. Could you elaborate on that a little bit, please?
I'm in anime club. I'm in a multicultural club, and I also do art club. And multicultural club is what we're doing right now is we created a calendar, and each month has something different for each, like a different culture. And for anime club, we just like watch anime. We'll sketch some anime characters, and we'll have like a day where we bring in food that's in the anime show. And I do art club because I like drawing, and I've always loved drawing. So
Okay. It's great to hear that you're able to maintain your grades, but also participate in the curricular activities after school. And, and and to be able to do those things and not be stressed out. And maybe would you say the after school programs that you participate in, is this something that helps you to relieve your stress level from the other things that we're dealing with as far as the way you having to do your lessons sometime on the computer, sometime in the classroom? It kind of give you a break from that. Is it fair to that?
Um, well, when I stay after school, when I'm in those clubs, since I'm new to the school and new to New York, I try to like roam around and make new friends and find people that have like a different vibe, like someone that doesn't actually match my energy to like see new people, cuz I'm not really used to like coming out of my comfort zone. I used to just like I'm like the shy, quiet kid, and it helps me like cope, like not even think about stress or COVID or oh I need to get this done before I do this, and it just like makes me feel like free and I feel better.
Okay. Okay. So even when you say that, the multicultural and the different things that's going on in your school, Remember, we mentioned family and friends being a part of the village? Well, the activities that you're involved in school and the school that you're attending, all those people are a part of your village also. You know, your school, your church, everything that's surrounding you is a part of your village. And the village determines, in a lot of ways, how certain things affect you in life. And your mom just put something up that actually reminded me when I said I am so proud of what you're doing with your grades. You hated school and you moved to a new state, a whole new school, and just got charged up and fired up. And it's like, hey, I got a grip on this thing. And a light bulb came on. And you became, a great student. Your behavior was never bad, but you struggled with your work because you had no interest in it. And to hear those things, I am so proud of you. And yes, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to take a little bit of credit, if you deal with these after school programs, and reaching out people and stuff. Because we're going next. When you lived in Charlotte, after I came off the road and started developing the Big Rig Kid program, you were a big part of that. And when you lived in Charlotte, we went out and we did lots of community services. We got involved in the community. We traveled many different states. And I want to know some of the services that you participate in. Tell me which ones you felt were important to you. And then after that, I want to know what kind of feeling or lessons you got from them.
Um, one of the things that felt important to me was when we traveled and we taught about how bullying was like not a great thing. It's really negative and it's it can bring people down. I like that. I think that was important because I've had some friends at my old school that has been bullied by their own friends, but they didn't really realize it because they thought it was like just a joke or they were just playing around. But really, they like it hurt them a lot. And I know a lot of people don't think that words hurt, but sometimes they can. And um, it made me when we did that, it made me feel happy because the other kids were like smiling and laughing, and they had a great time with us when we had shared about like when some people had shared different stories about how they were bullied, and then at the end how they made like new friends and people that actually made them happy.
Right. And even with the bullying thing, this one just came back to mind. Remember when you guys talked with the play from the book?
Yes.
And you were one of the characters among some other kids from your school. With that, do you feel that play that we did and you participated in it heavily? Do you believe that helped build some character in you guys also?
Um, I think it changed some of my friends. Like I can see their like attitude and like vibe totally changed, and they became like more nicer towards people. And some people like when we had went back to the classroom, I remember some of my friends they would like sit down and talk to me. They'll be like, "Oh wow, like that really touched my heart," and they would share like why they either bullied somebody, probably because like they're going through something at home, or they'll just take their anger out on the people around them at school.
And how did it feel after hearing that? After hearing those things from your friends, say that you were involved and made a difference in their lives. How did that make you feel?
It made me feel good and special. I felt kind of famous after that because everybody was like, "Oh, that was so good! You did so good memorizing all those lines." And I was like, they were so happy.
Yeah, so I feel like wearing and stuff like that, and that's the main reason I started my book series to start creating villages. Where even young people will be able to go to each other and lean on each other and help redirect someone who they feel is going in the wrong way, or if someone's having trouble with their thoughts or they're being depressed or whatever. It's like teaching you guys how to be there for each other instead of, walking away or making fun of a kid because we don't know what they're going through. And I'm just going to let you talk a little bit now, about your new school, how you're enjoying it, your grades, whatever you want to say. I'm going to open the floor. I'm going to
Okay.
shut up. And I'm going to open the floor and let you have your way for a few minutes. Just tell us about
Okay.
it.
All right. So when I had like when we first moved here, I was like, I always tell myself, I was like, ugh, I don't want to make new friends. I don't want to talk to people. Like, I just want to do my thing, make good grades, focus on myself. But literally the second week of school, um, like when I started sophomore year, I made friends and I was shocked. I was like, oh, what? I didn't say, I said I wasn't going to make friends, but I made some good friends and they're really, they have good positive energy around me and they encourage me. They peer pressure me in a good way to like do good things, and some of them have got me and helped me get into some clubs to like help me with my um help me with high school, so like I can get like extra credit to graduate, and also like the school because it's like it's small and everybody knows each other. And it's weird though, and it's at the same time it's kind of weird, but it's really small. Everybody like we get along sometimes, and um I think it's also cool how they have sports because my old school we didn't have any sports, like we didn't do football or soccer, basketball, anything. So I tried to join volleyball, but I kind of practiced too late. So I do went to track now, and I really like it. It's really cool. I learned some new things. Um, I'm a thrower, and then I do 55 meters for our meet. So I'm still like learning like your body posture and like what workouts you have to do to keep your energy up. And also like how the teachers can like talk to us, like we can talk to the teachers when we need help because some teachers aren't always nice. Some of them can be like very strict. And this school they have like a um a teacher and they have like this room you can like go in there when you're like stressed out and you can just go in there and talk to them and open up and you'll get like a little pass for like not being in class. But I think that's really cool how they do that. So I like my school.
And see, that's a big part of the village. When you speak about being able to go in and talk to your teacher, having that open line of communication, all of this is part of your village. Even though you live in your home with your mom and your bonus dad and your siblings, they're your immediate village right there. But now you're in a new environment, regardless of where people are living. The schools and the businesses and the churches and stuff that's around, all of this is a part of your village. And we have gotten so far away from the village to where it's all about me, or it's not my problem, or it's their problem over there. And just so many different things. But to hear you speak of your school in the way that you do, that is awesome, especially at the age that you guys are at right now. You know, when we hear about the teenage suicides or we hear about the teenage runaways, and there is just so many other things, it is very important to have that village and be a part of that village that's right there around you. And even though you left me and I'm not in New York with you, but I'm still always a part of your village. I'm always grandma first. Then I'm Grandma Polly. But yeah, the village is very important. And after hearing all of these things, I know I'm freezing for some reason, but Kenny, I'm gonna let you jump in here for a minute if you have something you want to ask Madison, because I have one more question I want to ask her, but I want to do it towards the end.
Okay. What's up, Madison?
Hi.
My grandniece. You making me old, girl. Look at you. Look at you. I've been listening to everything you've been saying, and I didn't know that you were such an artist. I didn't know that you were a runner. Guess who else did that when they were in school? Both of those things. I drew a lot.
You?
Yes. And I was the fastest kid in the neighborhood, man. That is what I did. Well, I'm glad to know that it's all in the blood still. But let me ask you about this whole you've had a like major transition in life, you know, leaving friends that you may have had for years and years, starting a new school, new city, new town, in the midst of COVID. In the midst of COVID, with all of that going on, I mean, you've done and faced some adult things already, you know, that most people would crack under. You know, so when people move to a whole nother city not knowing anybody, they kind of get lost in the shuffle. But it seemed like you've just excelled marvelously. And I got to give you props for that. So, what do you think it was that motivated and kept you inspired to keep growing and aspiring to bigger and better things and doing the things that you're achieving now?
Um, I think I motivated myself because um when we were in Charlotte, like when we were talking about moving, I was like, oh yes, like I was so happy because I always wanted to live in New York. And my
Wow.
sisters were like, no, like I don't want to go, like I don't want to move. I was like, well, that's too bad. So, um, when we had moved, I was like, oh, like we're gonna be in school now because when I was a freshman, we were online. So it was like, hopefully we can be in person, so it can be easier to do like talk to the teachers when we need help. But when we got here, when we had to finish the grade we were in, we had to go online. So it was like
Gotcha.
even more difficult and hard. And like the COVID cases had got higher, so we didn't really want to put ourselves at risk.
Gotcha.
So um I think like I didn't really get to visualize how freshman year was physically because I wasn't in high school, and it was weird. Like if I had like in the future like somebody asked me about my freshman year, I feel like it would be so difficult to explain because it was like COVID and we were on computers and
Yeah.
we weren't writing with pencil on paper. So it was kind of challenging, but at the same time, I was like excited for the like next school year because I knew we were going to be in person.
Gotcha.
But we still have to like wear our mask properly and like stay like 6 feet away from each other and just be safe.
Okay. So it's safe to assume that you're a trailblazer, an authentic trailblazer, huh?
Yeah.
You create trails for other people to follow. That's what's up. That's what's up. So tell me, where do you see yourself? Like you're in this new place, this new school. You're doing what you do, and I'll get right with you, Renee, in just a second. Where do you see yourself? What do you want to be? Where do you want to go and take all of this stuff that you're doing now?
Like in the future,
Yeah. Say when you graduate from high
um,
school.
Oh, okay. I wanna well, I wanna like do cosmetology, but I also wanna model. Like I always wanted to
Oh
model.
man, why? See, I
So
knew you were gonna say that because looking at you, I'm looking at you on here, and I'm like, my niece is a woman now, my grandniece, because your mom is my niece. You're my grandniece, but you girls have grown up to be such beautiful women, and to see you do things you love, because it shows. I'm looking at you, and I'm like, yeah, she know what to do. She over so you look amazing. You look amazing. So cosmetology, you're
thank
gonna
you.
make other people look their best as well, the grandest
Yes,
versions of themselves. That's awesome. That's
I
what's up.
wanna. Yeah, I wanna do cosmetology because, well, I started like doing my own hair when I was
Hmm.
like, I think I was like in fifth grade or probably in elementary,
Wow.
and I was like, I think I like picked up after my mom because I would watch her do my sister's hair. So I'll be like, oh, let me like try and braid my hair. So I think when I like started doing my own box braids, but it didn't look right, at first. It was my first time,
Right. Right.
but I kept trying and kept going, and it eventually got better. So it was like I can do this. Like I can do other people's hair, and I do my own makeup now. I started doing that because I followed my older sister's footsteps. She was
Oh,
doing her
okay.
makeup, so I would like watch her and be like, I want to do that. So I just like picked it up and started like doing it by myself and got
That's
used to it.
that is awesome, man. So it's safe to assume you're a girly girl, right?
Yeah.
Let's bring your grandma back in this conversation. I know she had something to say.
Girly girl is not the face for her. She is Miss Prince.
Miss what?
That is Miss Prince all the way. Miss Prince.
A princess?
I'll explain to you later. Miss
Okay.
Prince. You know the little
Oh,
Miss Prince.
Miss Prissy.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Miss Prissy.
All right.
They would be at my place, and the other two sisters would be outside digging worms and putting them in bottles and wanting to bring them in my house. And I'm like, no, y'all gonna keep that outside. She's sitting in the corner. I'm not going out there. I'm not going to play in that dirt.
That's what's
Giving her
up.
legs crossed and her hands like this with a like the little tea
Cup,
cups.
yeah.
That's Miss Prince.
That's who she is. All right.
That's who she is. But above all of that, Madison has overcome a lot of adversities and many of the things in life. And they that excited me that has me so excited right now, Madison, is that you went to New York and did your first year on the computer. And now you're in the 10th grade. And I know what writing and reading comprehension struggles you've had. And now you're this AB student. And not only that, honey, this sweet baby, I understand you are one of 15 students selected to travel with your junior class to Peru. Now, I need you to share with us some details on this one.
Peru? Wow.
Yes, Peru. Give us what you guys say. Give us the tea. Give us the tea on it.
um, the tea. Um, so they had well, when we first heard about it, when our sophomore class heard about it, we were all like, Peru, like they're really gonna take us to Peru. So, um, every year here as a junior, they plan a trip out of the country, and you go to a different country, you travel, and what we're gonna do is community service. We're gonna like try the new foods. They're gonna show us around Peru, and we're gonna be there for 10 days. Um, so also I got chosen because they had a VIP Zoom meeting and everybody had to be there, and they had like this. I think they had a generator thing, and it chose 15 students, and I was one of them. So that happened, and I'm really excited to go because not a lot of people get the chance and opportunity to do that, and this is like going to be like one of the greatest high school experiences, I feel like.
I think so. I think so. I really think so. What's she saying? Renee, I think something went wrong. Just a second. I need to hear
You
what
had
you
me
were
on
saying.
mute.
Go ahead.
You
Listen
had
in.
me on mute.
Yeah, we're getting that feedback.
What I
Yeah,
was
sorry about
saying,
that.
honey, I went to Germany when I was 19. No, I was 20 years old. That's the only place I've ever been to out of this country. And I was 20. Here you is. How are you? 15, 16? I lose track.
I'm 15.
And talking about going to Peru, baby, it is cold outside. How can we help you?
Wow.
If someone wanted to assist you in this endeavor, because I know it's going to cost. What's the cost on this thing? And if somebody out there want to assist you in this endeavor, how can they help?
There's a link that my mom has that you can donate some money to, and it doesn't really matter as long as you're like actually putting money in there. It doesn't matter the amount. It doesn't have to be a lot, but you're still helping out, and it'll make us really happy.
Okay, wait a minute. You said put some money in, but there's a link. But how much is this trip costing you? Well, costing your mama in the village.
Uh, I kind of forgot how much it cost, but um, I know it was like it
I
was more
think
than.
I think I think having I think having the conversation with your mom told me it was around somewhere around between $4,300 and $4,500.
I think so.
And if I'm wrong, I mean, if I'm wrong, we will correct it. And I
Mhm.
know your mom is watching. Reese, if you will, please put that link in the comment section.
She did
And I'll
already.
also share it to my Big Rig kid page afterwards. But this is where part of the village come in. Y'all come on and help my baby go to Peru. Please.
Yeah.
So, anything you want to say, Madison, before we close out? I'm going to leave it to you now. What do you want to say?
Um, I want to say for people that have been bullied, you should, well, other people that haven't been bullied either, just be yourself and try to be confident and know that really no one, like, you shouldn't care about anyone's opinions, like, if it's a negative opinion, because by the end of the day, you're yourself, and as long as you're being yourself, like, you're not wearing a mask or anything, then you can try to be happy for who you are.
Get it, girl. Do you remember? Do you remember the saying I always had with you guys when I came to the school? Wait a minute, you done moved to New York and you done got a little bougie now. I'm gonna tell what it is. What other people think of you is
It's
none
none of
of
your
your
concern.
business.
Yep.
They're the ones with the problem. That is none of your concern and it's none of your business. They're the ones with the problem. And I want you to take that with you everywhere in life. As long as you're doing right and you're treating people the best that you can, other people's opinion does not matter. And that's it. Kenny, do you want to say anything before I close? Well, wait a minute first. I want to thank my sponsors. KJ Multimedia. I also want to thank my brother Kenneth Thompson, and I also want to thank TNT Realty. If y'all need to buy a house, contact TNT. If you need some videos made, videography, pictures taken, different stuff like that, contact K&J Multimedia Solutions. And my final words is be the best you could be. Remember, we all need the village. Keep the village strong. And I'm going to turn it back over to my brother Kenny and let him have some final words. And then we're going to peace out.
Well, I'm keeping y'all up here with me because Madisen, I'm so proud of you, baby girl. So proud of you, man. And you're going to Peru. This is your junior year, you said?
Yes, junior year.
Junior year?
Next
Okay.
year.
So next year. Okay. So I got some time to save up then, huh?
No, don't save up.
No, I got some time because I got to give her something. I got to give her.
Wait a minute, they put $5 in now, and they want to do $5 later. Keep adding to it.
Oh,
Don't
like
save
that.
up. You want to get it out.
Got you. That's an even better way because it'd be sitting in the pot. I like that.
Keep adding to that pot.
Well, it's been grand having you on the show, Madisen. I'm so proud of you. I know your grandma is just absolutely proud of you. And it's wonderful to see that you excelling and doing the things that you're becoming into your own. You're becoming your own woman. You've been prissy, they tell me, ever since ever, not for, just ever, just and seeing you're made up today. How you look? I'm like, you need to be on a magazine cover, girl. You know that? You hear me?
Yeah, I know.
See, there you go. That confidence. That's what's up. Because when you know it, you don't even got to say it, you know? And it shows. It shows. I'm glad that you even take up for people who are being bullied. You weren't just standing by letting someone just do that. That's huge. So kudos to you on that. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking for all these great things coming from you to continue to live in your greatness and be the grandest version of you that you can be. And with that said, I want to thank. Go ahead. Oh, I just want to thank all of the Facebook.
Yeah.
I want to thank all the Facebook Live participants who joined us tonight. Michelle, always supporting us. Michelle Great Bolt, she's always supporting and always doing the thing. Jackie Singleton, thank you so much for chiming in. Denitra Gibson, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your night and sharing this with us and building up our younger generation so that they can be the best and grandest versions of themselves. We truly appreciate it. And Renee has a final thought, I think.
I have two final thoughts. I said tonight that I was going to give away a $10 Starbucks card.
Well, we have a winner.
I am going to do that, but you're going to have to watch the Facebook stream, Kenny, because you know I'm not there.
Okay.
Where is it? The question is, the first person to answer this question, so you're going to have to look and see who put their first answer in there.
Okay, I will.
Where is it that Madisen is traveling to in her junior year? What's the name of the place?
Michelle Great Bolt. She's the first one.
Okay. All right, Michelle. So you get the $10 Starbucks card tonight. And one more thing I want to say is, you know, we're bringing the children in. And I had this discussion with Kenny today. We will have kids every Thursday night except for the third Thursdays of the month. And reason being, we want to bring in some adults too so that we can discuss some adult family things that affect the whole family. So you guys don't want to miss next week. Next week we have Keisha, who's coming in. She owns a funeral home, and she's going to be talking about making pre-arrangements, how important that is, in the death, dealing with the death of family members. And we're also going to have Dominique on with her, who's going to be speaking about how important it is to have a family will drawn up before we go into the other part of it, of dealing with burying a family member or a loved one. So you guys make sure to tune in for that next Thursday. I want to thank you all for showing up. I want to thank you all for being here. And don't forget to tell your friends. Invite friends in. Tell them about us. Follow our page. Ask them to follow our page, because we'll be covering a whole lot of information within these next couple of months. Love you guys. Take care. Peace out. See y'all next Thursday.
Here come the big rig kids, roll with the big rig kids. Let's have fun here to try to you to such amazing places with the big rig kids. Those helpful big rig kids, see how they get and grow and get to know amazing things. We're with the big rig kids, and you see how it is to have adventure days and hang and play with all your friends. Because the big rig kids know what it is to live. The most exciting and inviting life is positive. Sapphire with the voice of wisdom keeps the story rolling, and by golly,